What if I told you that you could be every and anything that you've ever wanted to be? Would you believe me or would you click off? If I told you that I had the secrets to turn all of your failed dreams, all of your failed plans, all of your failed goals, and bring them back to reality in less than 30 minutes, what would you say? Would you believe me? Let us begin. We're gonna be breaking down the difference between two people that have the same identical career paths, the same identical thoughts, the same identical vision. And we all have these same visions. We all have these same ideas in our head. The reason why we have these ideas is because they come from the things that we consume. And let me fix this camera. They come from the things that we consume. They come from social media, they come from our parents, they come from our peers, they come from teachers, they come from everything around us. There's no coincidence that you want to be what you want to be because that is all you see. And what you see is what you become. And so growing up, I know we all had the dream of becoming an NBA superstar, becoming a doctor, becoming an MLB pitcher, or a rapper, or a millionaire. But has anyone ever broken down the exact steps and the exact framework to be able to accomplish those things and given it to you in 3 easy steps? I guarantee you not. And that's the reason why you should stick to the end of the video to see the top 3 steps, the proven steps, the strategies, the values necessary to actually put all these things that you ever wanted to become into play. And what if I told you that you can become all these things? All it took was for you to break out of these thought patterns. Of course, the chalk would break. Break out of these thought patterns and take action. And so that is step number 1. Before we get into step number one, I want to briefly talk about how we are trained to want to do these things and to think that we can get these things without taking action. And so growing up, I know a lot of us watched NBA basketball. I know a lot of us played video games. I know a lot of us probably looked up to, the best and the brightest and the GOATs. I know my generation is LeBron. Generations before me, maybe Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. It doesn't matter. We were all looking up to these people because of the work that they've been able to put in. But a lot of the times we weren't able to see their work. We weren't able to see their grind. We weren't able to see those interviews and ask them those questions because it gave them an unfair competitive advantage to be able to keep those things secret. To be able to keep the workout plans, to be able to keep the diets and what they're doing on a daily basis and how they're doing it and why they're even doing it a secret because it separated them from a lot of the people that they were competing against in that moment. And it's not a slight against them, it's just they wanted to be better. And honestly, if you were working out, doing this special workout and it was getting you a lot better and you were in the NBA against people who have a slight margin of error or a slight margin of maybe they're better in this one area or a slight margin of maybe they're greater in this one area, you would probably want to keep that a secret too. But I want to start to expose those plans. I want to start to expose who these people truly are and what they value and when they do what they do. And so make sure you subscribe because we're actually going to be interacting with your favorite content creators, your favorite athletes, your favorite entrepreneurs, your favorite musicians, your favorite millionaires, and asking them their secrets. But it all boils down to the action that they took. If they don't go out and apply the secret way that they hold the ball when they're pitching, apply the secret way that they study or the way that they shoot, or the way that they train, or the way that they record music, nothing happens and you never see them. And that's the reason why these ideas for yourself never come into fruition is because you don't take action on them and they get lost over here. This is the cloud of failed dreams. This is the cloud, right? I know we have the cloud, the iCloud, we have the this cloud, the that cloud. But this cloud right here is where all failed dreams, all thoughts that you have in your head, all the secrets go because you have all the answers. And what if I told you you knew exactly what you needed to do right now to achieve any of these goals, but you don't act on those thoughts and they go right over here. And the funniest part about these two people, even though they want the same things, they both won't be successful over the person who is going to take action. And so these two people right here, I'm going to tell you right now, they never achieved their goals. All of their goals, all of their thoughts, all of their dreams, they just went up here. Stay tuned to see who actually does it. And it's this guy. It's guy number 3. Guy number 3, he takes all of those dreams, all of those thoughts, all those feelings, all that motivation from watching LeBron highlights. He takes all the YouTube tips and tricks, all the rapper tips and tricks, all the NFL player schedules, what they do, when they work out, why they do it, and he applies it to his life and he takes action. Without action, he would be like these two guys. Bums. Bums. These two bums. But he's number 3. And in his mind, he probably thinks, right? Let's go to his thought bubble. He probably thinks he is behind. And I hope this is you watching this video, that you think you're behind and that you're actually taking action, because you thinking that you are behind while taking this action, while applying number 1, means that you're actually ahead. Because there's people that are still thinking about it. There's people that still haven't picked up the camera, that still haven't picked up the ball today, still haven't picked up the study book today. So you're ahead. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations, because you took action. Now, what does it mean to take action? To take action means to apply the things that you learn in the right manner. And let's just take one example for this whole entire video. Let's just take rap, right? Rap is one of the most popular forms of art creation, especially in the Black culture. And I'm cooking some food over there, so I might have to run over. But in the Black culture, rap is so crucial to our interactions with each other, to how we talk, to how we walk, to how we do everything we do, dress, smile. Everything we do is informed by art, informed by music, informed by rap, across cultures, across race, across societies. And so to take action and become the greatest rapper of all time, or become a successful rapper, or become a signed rapper, a signed artist, not only do you have to first have that thought, but you have to act on it immediately. Let's say you're watching this video right now and you want to be a rapper. You have to understand what that means. Before you even understand what that means, you have to figure out who you are right now. Chances are you're not a rapper. Because if you're watching this video and you want to be one of these things, you would already identify with it. You wouldn't have to identify with the rapper. You wouldn't have to identify with the YouTuber, the millionaire, the MOB, if you didn't already have it, if you weren't already that. And so the chances are 100%. I'm not going to lie to you. But why are you not yet a rapper? What does it mean to even be a rapper? What type of rapper do you even want to be? Do you want to make trap beats or rap on trap beats? Do you want to be a J. Cole type of nigga? Do you want to be a Kendrick type nigga? Do you want to be a I don't know, a little baby type nigga? What type of nigga you want to be? So that's the next step. Stay tuned to see how we use the most successful rappers and most successful entrepreneurs, the little babies, the this, that, and the third, to be able to inform and look at their framework and take their steps to then get to the action and then get to the success, right? The success is somewhere down here. But we got to get through step 2 and step 3 to get to that success. And so you ask yourself, well, why am I not a rapper? Why don't I identify with being a rapper yet? And it's because there's some things missing between you and yourself. A lot of the times, people don't know why they have these thoughts and why they have these desires to be something outside of themselves and to chase this grand goal. A lot of the times, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it is because of social media. So let's say this person watches social media heavily and they listen to a lot of music. And this goes way back, and we look for small points, small dots in our childhoods to give us indication of our wildest dreams and give us that fuel and that motivation to push forward, because that's where the strongest source is. It's at the very beginning. For example, let's say this person says, well, yeah, I want to be a rapper because I watch social media a lot and I see a little baby, I see his lifestyle, I want to have that lifestyle, I want to be similar to him. But when we have these sessions, when we have these classes, we're going to ask questions and we're going to get to the root of this why. And we may find out that you want to be a rapper because you used to listen to soul music, right, with your grandfather, and you just enjoyed that relationship. You enjoyed learning from him. You enjoyed being around him, spending time with him. And that was the core moment and the core formation of your dream and of your goal. And over time, social media, your experiences, your life, your friends, your family shaped that. And then now you want to be a rapper. Now you want to be a rapper. And so what does that mean? Like, what did you do along the way to hone that desire? Maybe you picked up and got Fruity Loops, FL Studios, and you just started fucking with that bitch. You just started fucking with that bitch. And then we're just talking about the basis right now. We're just talking about when you really started wanting to learn and started to take rap serious. We're going back to the root. You started fucking around with FL Studios when you were 10 years old, and then you were doing it in, the basement. And after you was in the basement doing FL Studios, you would go back up and you would tell your grandpa, hey grandpa, like, look what I did. You feel me? Look what I'm doing. You feel me? And this changed and shaped who you are. Now you're this person that loves music, and every time you make rap, every time you make a beat, every time you make a song, you think about that time when you were in FL Studios, 10 years old, in the basement, and then you would go and tell your grandpa, and you guys would listen to soul music and get those rap samples. And now you might turn into a nigga like, what you call that nigga? Metro Beats or some shit. What do you call that nigga, man? Metro Boomin or some shit. Because you just love samples. Like, why I keep doing sample beats? Why I keep rapping over samples? It's because that moment right here. And why I mention this, and why this is so important, and why this is number 2, getting to the root. I'll say getting to the root, GTTR. Why it's so important is because now we know why. And we know that we're doing it for us. And this saves us a lot of time. This saves us a lot of time because I was one of those people who wasted my time doing something that wasn't for me. I was one of those people. And now I'm writing on a chalkboard instead of being face to face with you in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Don't worry, we're still getting there, but now it's just taking me a longer amount of time because I was living someone else's dream, and I'm sure you are too. I'm sure you are too. I'm almost 100,000%, because it's always going to be someone else's dream. We just have to take control of it, and we have to make it ours, and we have to find these reasons and find these connections to make it ours, to take accountability and to kind of take control over it so we can have the ability to steer in the direction that we want instead of having someone else do it for us. And so I was that guy. I was being controlled by my desire to want to please and be able to show people in my family that I was a great basketball player, that I was a great athlete, that I was a great student, that I was a great, worker, that I was going to go out and find a job and do this and do that. And look where it's led me, not to my goal, right? And I'm sure it hasn't led you to your goal yet, but that's the reason for this video, because we want to get to the root and change it if we're not doing it for us. Let's say this person got to the root and they realized that the reason that they want to be a rapper is because their grandfather was actually forcing them to do something that they didn't want to do, or it came from a traumatic situation, right? Let's say on the craziest of scale of things, or on the long spectrum of trauma, and we look down to the scary dark alley of traumatic experiences and we see that it wasn't such a happy experience. Instead of grandpa congratulating us and giving us pats on the back and listening to soul music with us after we made in FL Studios, let's say he jiggled your balls and shit. Oh shit. While you was listening to soul music, let's say like some crazy shit. We definitely don't want to operate from something like that because it's not healthy, right? We'll get nowhere. We'll crash out, we'll do it all for revenge, we'll get to the top, and then we'll still be sad and have depression and still remember, when you got your balls jiggled. And Don't cancel me now, but that is a real experience for a lot of people. That's a real experience for a lot of people. They do things out of spite, out of revenge, out of a traumatic experience, and it pushes them very, very far. Like LeBron probably got to the league because he had no dad. LeBron probably got to the league, or maybe, you know, what's another example? I know Ja Morant came from a great family, so we can't use Ja, but like, who's a player like D Rose? D Rose got to the league because he ain't have shit. He was eating honey buns and all he had was bounce, playing on cement courts, eating honey buns, eating oatmeal cream pies, and just grinding to the top based off that hunger to get to where he had to go, right? Pool. And nigga Pool, bruh. He had to grind out the cement like D Rose, you dig? You dig it? But once he got to the league, what's the reason why he didn't have such a successful career or as much of a successful career as he'd hope he have? Yeah, we can dive into the politics and say, oh, well, D Rose didn't have this pieces around him and this, that, and the third. It's because a lot of the times people aren't able to change their why because they build and get so far off of this fear and hate and resentment, and then they get to somewhere and they get to the top and they're looking down and they have nothing to stand on and they just drop. They just drop like off a skyscraper, like someone just pulling a rug from under you, like an elevator just snapping, the wire just drop to the ground because you were standing on bullshit. You weren't standing on business, right? Let me stop this this shit looking magnificent on some shit, bro. I'ma cool that shit down. So look, on some shit like, I know y'all hear that shit sizzling. So we get to the root and we make sure that we are at a place that makes sense and is healthy. Okay. We get to the root and we see and we make sure that it's something that is for us, that it's not a traumatic experience. And if it is a traumatic experience, we work and we develop a person that is able to overcome it and accept that thing and move from that place of love. Because the more you accept and the more that you let go, the more capacity that you have to think about how you actually can accomplish the goal of becoming a rapper. You feel me? If you have so much going on in your head and all these squiggles and all this trauma and all this bullshit just swirling around and people trying to get at you and there's just so much going on, you won't have the ability because it's blocking your thoughts, it's blocking your action, it's blocking you getting to the root. You have to be able to overcome those things by accepting them, you know? And that's the last one right there is acceptance. Like, how can we start to become someone who accepts what we cannot change? And that's the most difficult one of all. Guy number 3, he accepts that he is not the greatest at rapping right now. He understands that he kind of sucks based on what his standard of success is. And he's defined this, right? And so now that he accepts, now he's like, you know what? I accept I'm kind of trash. Like, I feel like I'm behind, that I'm kind of trash, but I'm really ahead because now I have the ability to change, and now I have the ability to go after it with a clear head and with a clear plan by understanding not only that my why is coming from a great place, but also that I can actually do this now because I believe. Because in this what, we're looking at people that have already done it. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to reinvent rap. We're not trying to do Eminem bullshit. We're not trying to do like a whole lot of nothing. Like, we're actually looking at people who've done it and we're taking their steps and we're applying it to our real lives. We're not applying it to our fake lives. We're accepting the things that we cannot change. You cannot rap exactly like Lil Baby because Lil Baby, you're not Lil Baby. You're not from Atlanta. You don't have an Atlanta accent. Yeah, you can come down here and take time and learn an Atlanta accent and, you know, replicate that, but what sense does that make? You're from Detroit. Rap like a Detroit nigga. Rap like a Detroit nigga. You feel me? Like, why are you trying to go in and reinvent the wheel? You could take Lil Baby's daily actions, you could take his daily schedule and say, well, yeah, what does he do? He's in the studio 10 hours a day. You probably don't have 10 hours of studio time saved up for one day, but you know what you can do? You could go down in your basement because you still have FL Studios, you still have a mic, you still have, you know, all the equipment necessary. You can go down somewhere quiet and rap for 10 hours a day because you realize that you accepted that you are a bum and you're not doing enough and you don't have a job at this point. So you could actually do it because you have 10 hours. And let's say you do work, there's still more hours. You just have to find out when, which is why I want you to subscribe, because in the next video, I might even do it in this video. We might talk about when this person should do it based off of who they are and what they do on a day-to-day basis. But make sure you subscribe. You never know. That shit might end right now. So what does Lil Baby do? Lil Baby raps 10 hours a day. He's rapping he's going in the studio, he's smoking a pound of rapper weed, and he's making songs. What are you doing? You're smoking a pound of rapper weed, and you're calling yourself a drug dealer, and you're not selling any weed, you're just smoking it all. I used to do stuff like that, so I know. Lil Baby's actually still doing what he needs to do around his schedule, around his habits, good or bad, and he's seeing the success that he wants to see. You're doing the same exact thing, and you're still not seeing the result. You want to know the reason you're not seeing the result? Not only have you picked the result that you want to see, but you don't know what to do. So before we even pick a goal, before we even pick the result, we have to determine based off of his result, because this is the success that you want to see, what he does. And when does he do it? He's in the studio every single day. Every ESD. Every single day. When he's on vacation, he's in the studio. He finds a studio. When he goes to LA, he has a guy out there already in LA. He's not going anywhere unless he knows he can get in the studio. Because he knows that when he travels, there's people out there and there's other artists that'll come to the studio and probably give him money for a feature. You know? And so why is he doing that though? That's a personal question. And yeah, we can go and sit down, and this is the reason why I want you to go and type down ready in the comments, because this study and this research that we have to do together to find out why they do it is so important, because not only is it going to inform and give you reasoning for you to do it for yourself, for your own why, but it's also going to tell us exactly how they accomplished their goal. Because why is the most important piece? Why are they doing it? What's fueling them? I can't even guess right now. I don't know enough information. So if you're looking for that information, make sure you type down ready. But where is he going? Like, where is he going on a day-to-day? Well, he's going to the studio. He's going, this chalk is going to break every single time. He's going to the studio. He's going to the club. He's going to see his family. He's busting a trap. And he's doing that shit all over again. He's consistently doing that over and over and over again. But where is he spending the majority of his time is 10 hours in the studio. And 10 hours in the studio over 7 days is 70 hours in the studio. 70 hours in the studio over a week is I don't know how many hours in the studio. 70 hours over a week, over another week, over a month is like a number we can't even fathom. And he does that every single day, and it gets to a certain point, like, you may feel like, damn, like, I can't even work up to that. I can't even, that number is crazy. You just have to take action one time. One time. You have to get in the studio one time. You have to shoot that video one time. You have to pick up the study book one time. And every single time you pick up the study book, you remove one squiggle. You're like, oh shit, that wasn't that bad. You remove one squiggle. Oh shit, that wasn't that bad. Oh shit, wasn't that bad? Wasn't that bad? Now you have a clear head, and all you're doing is taking action because you've built habits. That is the whole purpose of this, is to build the habit of doing what they do so we can get the result that they see, which is the result that we also want to see. We're not just picking random people. We're going to pick these people very specifically so we can start to understand and start to get the same exact results based on who we are. And see, the pitfall that a lot of us go through in this process of trying to get something that we want, trying to get something that we think we deserve, even when we have all this framework done, we know who we are, what we want to do, and we start to get to the win, is we try to be exactly like them, and we throw out our own personality traits, the things that make us great, the things that make us funny, the things that make our rap songs the best, right? We try to go and replicate a style that is just completely outside of us. And as I mentioned before, this is where a lot of people, yeah, you can get to the top doing that, but for how long will you be able to replicate that before you're back unhappy and searching for another thing? How long? Niggas get to the NBA. James Harden gets to the NBA. Now he wants to be a rapper. Now he wants to get honey buns with Lil Baby. Like, what are you doing, bro? Shoot the basketball. Step back. Niggas go to Michael Jordan, go to the MLB. Like, what are you doing, bro? You're the GOAT, right? It's because they get to a certain place in their career, and the reason why they did it no longer exists, and it no longer fuels them, and they're unhappy. Like, well, the reason why we're doing all this right here, the reason why I'm talking so much, and the reason why everyone has these thoughts is because that's their version of happiness. But what if we changed our version of happiness and our version of success to the journey? What if we changed our version of success to the journey? What if we did that? What would happen? Who would we start to become if every single day we just fell in love with the journey? Where would we go? How far could we take it? How much more money? How much more bitches? How much more could we possibly get if all we did was fall in love with the journey? But you know what? And you know the reason why you can't fall in love with the journey? It's because you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. If you want to know who you are, you want to be able to reach your dreams, you want to be able to do everything that you ever want to do, you want to be able to climb the highest heights and go and be the best in whatever you do, be the best rapper, be the best NFL player, be the best doctor, be the best millionaire. Not only do you have to fall in love with the journey, but you also have to fall in love with who you are. And how are you going to fall in love with who you are if you don't know who you are? Make sure you guys subscribe to continue to learn about yourself and learn about the things that you need to be doing to see success in your life and fall in love with the journey. It's your boy, Coach MUEL. I'm official like a referee with a whistle. I'm coaching you on the rules of your game. This is what you want to do. This is what you told me. You told me you wanted to be an NBA player. I'm telling you how to be an NBA player. Make sure you subscribe. See you in the next one.